Yes. It was a beautiful day. It's gonna be a beautiful night. Break out the champagne. Everybody get a glass.
You got
Start it off
champagne
sexy.
inside. Go ahead. We got to dance a little bit because you had us waiting.
Okay, I'll do a little bit, just a little bit.
Welcome, Barbie. Welcome back to Champagne and Conversations. We're supposed to cheers first. Cheers.
Cheers. Sorry.
How are you, my dear?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Happy holidays to you. I'm doing fine, thank you. Just I wanted to make certain that we got to talk to you today, and I was a little nervous because your office called and said you were scheduled a little bit you were over scheduled a little bit. So we were just waiting patiently, guys, for Miss Barbie to join us.
Yeah, it was
Thank you
me.
so much.
Sorry.
Yes,
Thank
it's
you for
fine. It's
being here,
fine.
you guys.
Yes. So happy holidays again, and thank you for joining us. And we are so excited to hear about the holiday mixtures that you have been putting together, both in the cocktail space, because of course we love that, as well as the entree and appetizer space for clients for next week.
Absolutely. So, happy holidays, everyone. And I would like to start off by saying one thing. If you are not exactly certain of your capabilities, don't try nothing new on a holiday. The holiday is not the day to do it. If you read through the recipe 2 times and you feel deep in your heart, this might have the potential to go way left. Don't do it.
Don't do it. So I guess 2 weeks ago when you were here or so for Thanksgiving, you showed us how not to make potatoes because they could become the wax museum.
Mm-hmm.
So, so what now are you implying? Would that be the turkey? Would that be the ham that I so don't want? Or oh no, you said duck. You said one of your clients wanted duck, and I wanted to talk about it.
I love duck too. So it wasn't just about clients. I mean, duck is delicious. It is like a very super dark meat, poultry or fowl. And so it's almost like eating steak with a little bit of fattiness.
Too much
So
fat. Too much fat for me.
if it's roasted well, it's not too much fat. That skin gets nice and crispy.
Yes, that's important. The crispy skin is important. Do not bake a loin or give me that like, I don't want that. I need it. So can you tell us how to do that? What are you doing? Pan searing
So,
first?
so if you're talking the whole duck, what I usually do is I'll inject small holes into the skin so that the fat does have a chance to release. So we're talking like this the size of a skewer. So you want to like prick all over the skin with a skewer
Okay.
and put it in a nice hot oven and let it roast nice and
Nice hot 400 oven or more.
I would start maybe at 425 and then lower the temperature.
Okay.
Right, get a nice sear on the outside and then lower the temperature to like maybe 50 degrees, 375. Now, keep in mind, every time you go peeking in your oven, think of baking a cake. Every time you peek in your oven, the temperature drops. Now, the cake will tell you because the cake will fall. The duck won't, it'll just take longer.
Okay.
So
Will it dry?
that's
Will it dry out if you keep opening it, or do you cover?
I think that the advantage to cooking duck is that you have to really overcook it because of the amount of fat to get it to be dry. I mean,
Okay.
I'm talking like it has to be in the oven for like 8 hours instead of 2 for it to be really, really, really dry. And then you can still make
How
soup.
long do you cook it? How long do you
So
traditionally cook a duck?
it depends on the method of preparation, but a whole duck, you should be able to do it marinated in about 2 hours,
Okay.
depending.
Marinate and
So
prepare.
Yes. So it's not doing a duck is not that different than a chicken or a turkey. It's about the middle of the size, especially for a Long Island duck.
Oh gosh. Well, we
So
gotta have
for all you pet
flying
owners
it in.
out there, let me tell you that I have always had dogs. This is the one time that I don't have one of my dogs with me. And some years and years ago, I was running the tests on the duck, and we had a dog in the house that wasn't necessarily the brightest or most mannered duck ever, or a dog, but I had made this duck. I took it out of the oven. I put it on the table. I had it rested, called everybody to the dinner table, and I was like, where's my duck?
Epic fail.
Listen, it
Epic
wasn't a
fail.
fail. By the time we found that duck, the dog had licked every piece of skin off of that duck, and the duck was dog's now. Like, you keep it. It's yours. Because there's nothing that I can do with this. This is yours
Are
now.
you serious?
So, yes. So I want to just also forewarn all those new pet owners, because it is Christmas time and people do things. They do things. They gift animals and do things. Your rescue might steal your
Your
main
dinner.
course. So you have to be real careful.
You may have a problem, Houston.
They have a problem. So
Yes.
be real careful
Yes.
about putting everything out too soon. But in the meantime, let's talk about some hors d'oeuvres. Like,
Oh,
what can we
okay.
have while we're waiting? Because I grew up Black. On a holiday, you ate when dinner came. So you might get breakfast, you might get some baked goods, some cinnamon rolls or something like that. You might. But from those cinnamon rolls and that breakfast on, you're starved.
Well, we used to have cheese and crackers, but not the hoity-toity way like you all do it now. We would have like the cheese whiz that you put on the can, squeeze it out in the can and put it on the Ritz crackers, or conveniently cut some chunks of cheddar cheese and put it on a cute cracker, and that was our snack in between. So is that what you mean by hors d'oeuvres?
No, because you were lucky. I'm growing up, I got breakfast and starved till dinner. That's what
Oh, yeah,
that,
she
that,
tried. My mother tried to be fancy now. She'd go in there and roll up some of that ham from the morning, put it on a plate. She'll
my
kill
mom
me if I said
also
that.
had her dinner too, though. So I'll give credit. It was an early dinner, but
Yeah,
so
we had
one of
snacks.
the things I started doing was like little finger foods, things that I could make the day before. So start with some crostini. You can make your crostini the day before. Just slice some good Italian bread or a French baguette. Toast it in the oven on a sheet tray at 350 until it's like nice and brown. Now you have a choice. You can either just toast it, or you can drizzle it with a little olive oil, salt, and pepper, and toast it that way. And then
Fancy.
the toppings are endless. The possibilities are endless. You can get some ricotta cheese, right? Zest a little bit of lemon, crack a little bit of fresh pepper, drizzle it with a little olive oil. There's one. Same ricotta cheese. If you have some of the leftover homemade cranberry sauce, a little bit of ricotta cheese, a little bit
The
of the cranberry
gelatinous mess
sauce.
or the new
No,
kind?
no, the chutney. Good stuff with the orange and the whole beans, or the whole
Okay.
the
You say
whole
that the new kind. So you may
Mm,
have to give us the recipe again, and just in case someone wants to do the new kind of chutney style
okay.
cranberry.
Do people make turkey on
Absolutely.
Christmas?
They do it the
So they
same.
still want turkey?
Not
Okay.
I don't. We overdid it with Thanksgiving with the turkey. I think we had three. No, I don't want to see turkey. I'm good. I think
We
we're
had
doing
we
like
had
filet.
traditional roasted, and we had the deep fried. So nobody
Yeah,
wants to
yeah.
see turkey.
No,
So
no,
we
we're good.
always did do a beef at
Yeah,
Christmas.
we're doing
So
filet.
it could be a roast prime rib, it could
Yep,
be beef
yep.
Wellington, something of the sorts. And then instead of turkey, then the duck or a pork loin that was roasted, or a ham. But see, the ham was always up in the air because we always had ham on Easter. So then
Southern
it's
people
like,
have ham all the time. It could be on regular Sunday dinner, so it's going to be on the menu. And that may not be the only part of the oink that they have at this time of celebration.
right. So
I don't want to
sometimes my mom
say
would
the
make
rest of it, but the
a
other
roast.
fine parts of the pig.
Oh, you don't eat pork. All right. But I like pork.
And I don't want to smell it. No.
Okay. Is it bacon? Is bacon the gateway for you?
Now, bacon was amazing. When we were growing up, that was just the staple. You had to have it. So
See?
I didn't really get this way until like the 90s for sure. However, comma space. The other things that come along that they want to put with the greens and the potato salad. No, 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 no. I don't want none of that. No, 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 no.
Wait, what goes in the potato
When I was
salad?
growing up, huh?
What goes in the potato salad?
No, 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 with the potato salad, greens,
Oh,
potato salad, and then there's another thing that goes with it. The pig feet, girl. You know how they make the rooter to the tutor? It's just everything.
okay. Well, I mean, you don't. I don't generally eat pig feet unless there's some preparation, but not the traditional soul food preparation
Don't.
that I have. Now, I would tell you that they make a nice gelatinous pork stock. Like I like just it's rich and it just makes a
I'm good.
lovely sauce.
I don't want that.
But as far as like, you know how some people they just pick up the skin and it just be not for me either. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, yeah.
And
You may could have gotten me with bacon a couple of years ago, but it smells amazing. Like, please, we know bacon is it, and pepperoni is amazing. But at this juncture, and no, I'm good. So we're gonna move past the loin, the pork, we have the duck, and you were on to the appetizers. So now, as it relates to the tapenade, because I guess that's the culinary term, tapenade for the crostini. What other ideas do you have?
so actually a tapenade is a great idea, like a little olive salad.
Yeah,
So you take some olives, some carrots, some cauliflower, and I did a little bit of that.
you
Um,
did.
and just a little olive oil, salt and pepper, zest the lemon. I like a little bit of acid in everything that I do,
I'll
and
put
a
it
little
in my stories when you finish because you did post that. Mm-hmm.
and it's just something that you already have the crostini done. You can make a little tapenade, a little olive salad, have that in the refrigerator. Put out a bowl, put out a tray of and just have people mix and match, and it's just something that they can snack on, a little filler, like something for the kids to do. Get a needle and a thread. How many of us have a spool of thread and a needle? Big batch of popcorn, leave some plain, have the kids thread some up while they're doing nothing else because we stuck in the house, and
Oh, okay.
and then they can snack on that too. Have another bowl. You just put some salt and pepper and butter and just look like snacks.
That sounds
Because
like we have to really get ready for all of the real festivities at this point, right? I guess if you're saying now string popcorn and have all the different fancy things, I mean, that's cute. I hadn't
well,
even
it's
really thought about.
something for the kids to do while you're still cooking and
Yeah,
preparing or sipping a little bit.
this was your
All
favorite, wasn't it?
Christmas. Donnie Hathaway. But Mariah is on the #1 charts for Christmas songs
She
again.
is Mariah, yes. It just made me think of it, of course, when you said popcorn on a string.
That is a good
Yes,
song. We dancing now.
yes, we dancing. We have a good time. You said this is your song. Yes, all we want for Christmas. And at this time, we just want to be healthy and happy, right? And
Absolutely. Can we all be healthy and happy and and respect each other's wishes? Like right now there's a new vaccine going around. Some people are going to choose to take it and some people are going to choose not to. We all have our reasons for doing it or not doing it. Hear each other out and respect each other's reasons. Now,
sure.
that's not to say we're talking about the people that still want to go out and trolloping around without a mask on. No, not y'all. Put your mask on and wash your hands,
I
please.
am so over it. I was just out earlier and I'm saying, okay, what happened to the little like traffic lines that they told you like go this way, don't go this way? Because people are not paying attention. They still are not doing the social distancing. And I'm like, listen, it's not that serious for you to beeline across me to get whatever it is. Wait a minute. Let me just step 2 steps forward and then you can do what you need to do. But it's just, and of course, the children, they don't know. They see stuff, then they just run. I'm like, this is why I can't be out. And people are out. Like it's just normal holiday shopping. They are out. So with that
Very much.
being said,
I'm
it's
in.
tough.
I'm in. Like it's too much. It's like
Not too
too much
much.
are out and they're shopping and they have their kids out and we're acting like we're not still in the midst of a pandemic
Right.
and 3,000 people have not lost their lives. So, you know,
And more every day.
and more every day.
Yep. Yep.
So as much as I want to enjoy the holidays with my family, I don't get to see my family this holiday. I am with close friends, but I just moved. So it's gonna be real small, real contained, and my Christmas holidays with my kids is gonna be just like this. Zoom, zoom,
Oh,
zoom.
zoom, zoom,
Uh,
zoom.
You know,
Oh,
we're that's the only way that we can all be together. And if we had been in the same city, I'd still be zooming because I love them enough to stay away.
to
And
stay
that's
with.
the thing. I think that we all need to think about it as caring about each other enough.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're now down to the bottom of 2020. So in terms of reflection and just being thankful that we all, for the ones that we have been communicating with and such. And I mean, there's so people that have been adversely affected by it. Of course, we've had people that we know within our family or a friend of a family member, so we all have had a touch of it at some point. Yes. And probably our own little scare because, a lot of us joke about it, but when those symptoms start to come up, we're like, like I feel a little warm or, oh, I feel a little, whatever it is, we don't know. We just,
Did
so
we
we
talk about
definitely want to be.
did we talk about this? Because we can.
Uh,
We can talk about it.
yeah, well, you did. You talked about it on your on the Thanksgiving when you were sharing with us the Thanksgiving meal that you had a touch of it before you knew what it was. And we are like, you're so blessed. We're thankful that you are still able to share that story and still not have the effects because some people have, they say, some lingering things that are happening from the COVID. I saw that Jeremiah, he had gone in, for having COVID and he was in an extreme coma and such, but he's having some side effects from that, from what he actually experienced. So it's real and it's obviously not just something that we are talking about. People are experiencing it. So we are thankful at the bottom of this year that we can sit and talk, as you said, even though you had it, that you were able to get rid of it. And we're all taking our vitamins and wearing our mask and being more careful.
Wash
um,
your hands, social
oh my
distance.
gosh, the social distancing part, I told you, I'm like, they're not paying attention to that at all. At all. I'm like, listen, I'm going in, I'm coming out of here like fast. That's it. Anything else we're doing online. I see Amazon running through the neighborhood, going through the neighborhood. I'm like, that's why people are ordering so much because no one wants to come out. I mean, it's crazy.
Amazon, FedEx, UPS,
Yep.
US
Oh,
Post.
UPS is so slow. I mean, it's so backed up. It's just like, oh no, it's so slow. Yes. But yes, not to, bore people with the realness of where we are. We want to add some holiday cheer and give you some fancy ideas. And obviously you always have to have your champagne to go with anything, or you don't have to, but it would be suggested, of course. You just, have what you like to have as a cocktail. But in that, what would you suggest? I mean, in terms of just something that is enjoyable for the family? Do you do something with cider? Do you do something with eggnog? What do you like typically?
So I would love to have an eggnog drink with maybe some rum, but I'm allergic to eggs. So I would still make
Mhm.
the rum and eggnog drink for like my friends and family, but I wouldn't be able to really partake in that. So my thing would probably be like a cranberry vodka. I'm not even. I like to keep it simple, just festive. It's gonna be red with a little touch of green, the lime, and the little white trim, the vodka, and swirl.
Very
So
cute. I used to do that with the champagne and call it a poinsettia. And it was just the fresh cranberries in the bottom of the champagne. And then we would just pour like a little bit of the right white grape juice in the top. and just
Oh,
kind of call it like a poinsettia. So that was always a cute cocktail to serve for the
yeah.
guests. Yes. And
So the French at Christmas, I think they do a drink called a Kierce, and
yeah,
it's
Royale.
yeah,
Yeah.
champagne with a little chambord.
Yep. And
So
that's just not holiday. They do that all the time. Because a girlfriend of mine, she drinks Key Royales all the time, the Chambord, but it does add a bit of sweet. So it's nice. If I would just do rosé as mine. I don't even go the Chambord route, but she does prefer the Chambord. And actually she adds vodka as well. So
oh, she having a good time.
yeah, she having a
So
good time. Yes,
okay.
yes. And that's what we want to do. We want to have a good time, especially if we got to sit in quarantine. And then we're gonna have to have Zoom meetings and Zoom calls and Zoom holiday parties. So with that being said, you got to turn it all the way up, right?
Especially, you do have to turn
Yes.
it all the way up. And you know, it could just be that we may not need as many snacks this year because we're not gathering in such large groups. So
I
those
like the
little
snacks.
things,
I want a
right?
snack.
You can snack while you cook, you know. But those things, like maybe a little artichoke dip you could put on top of your Christine. Mhm.
But
I
listen,
love that.
even the cooking part, I'm saying like I think I probably did one too many things for Thanksgiving. And so for Christmas, I think that, or, obviously what holiday you consider wherever, whatever you celebrate. But for this holiday, I probably will do the filet and maybe like a lobster tail and one side and call it that's it. I mean,
One side.
one side, because for Thanksgiving, I traditionally don't eat but one plate. Barbie, let me explain to you that I ate two that night. And then the next day, for the next 2 days, I was eating Thanksgiving food with no exercise. I'm like, no, 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 no. We can't do this. We can't do this. So I don't know. Unless something changes, I think that I will be doing one side. Oh, and a vegetable, of course. One
Okay.
side and a vegetable.
But I
And then
feel
we're
like
gonna be doing,
holidays are all really, 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 truly about the sides.
that's what
Like,
it was for Thanksgiving. But look what happened. I was eating like the fresh cranberries, which was amazing. Thank you for that recipe. Amazing. And then I do my own cornbread stuffing. So that in and of itself, I don't do the, no disrespect to the one in the bag, but I do my own. Um,
we
yeah,
had cornbread stuffing too.
yeah. And then I didn't have mashed potatoes. That was the only thing, but we did like lobster mac. And I mean, when I tell you, between me and plate number one, number two, I was like, and the rolls, how do you have like three of those? How do you do that? You're not supposed to do that. That's a sin.
Yeah. I mean, if you're eating over the course of hours, then you can do it.
No,
You can
this
do
wasn't,
it.
it was like
Over,
an hour. It was an hour.
but see, that's why snacks, because we've been starved all day long. And if you don't have that, then you eat two plates of food instead of one. And then you would just take a little spoon of everything. Cause see, I'm cooking and I'm snacking anyway, because I'm cooking. So I have to taste everything. So then you just have a little bit of this and a little bit of that while you're waiting for me to finish cooking. And then by the time the food comes, you get a little taste of everything.
So
And you
now
don't.
in terms of plating though, when you're saying you're serving for a group and obviously you're doing a lot of private events around this time, I'm just curious because we have a little bit of an off with timing. You make the batches, but then when you're plating, are you plating like four at a time and serving out? How does that work? I need to get an idea of that.
When you're plating for a holiday, that's a
Yes,
complete.
for maybe like 10, or I mean obviously that's I think the max now for us in quarantine is that we can have 10 people over. So when it becomes a serving situation, which is what you do, you're not lining up 10 plates and plating. So how many are you doing at a time?
I can line up 10 plates and plate them because I'll have 10 plates worth of ingredients hot and ready at the same time to plate
Okay.
10 worth of things. And so it's pretty much an assembly line. And if I'm coming in and I'm plating for a holiday, there's a bigger staff than just me.
And I was going to say, and I didn't even want to say that, but I was going to say, okay, and she has staff. So this is different. But for those folks that would not, do we just put like 3 plates on the counter and we just go, go, go? And then, you know, of course, by the time those 3 take the plate away and they sit down, they've already kind of started. So what do you
I
say in
would
terms of,
say that the easiest way is to not plate. The easiest way would be make a stack of plates, have everything hot and ready in its individual containers,
oh,
and
buffet?
lay it out on the counter and make a small buffet. That way,
Okay.
everybody what they want takes what they want, and then by the time everybody sits down, even if the first person the first person is not going to be done with under 10 people. The first person will still be deep in their grub. You'll still be chatting. You'll still be festive. You'll still have that togetherness. And
Right.
then you can always get up and get more. With making so many sides, you do run the risk of when trying to plate, of making a plate that's just way too big. And then there's a person like me that's like, I can't eat all this. Who she thinks she's eating? Like, no, I can't do it. But with a small buffet, everybody gets what they can take. And it always seems to work itself out that somebody doesn't like one thing and another person doesn't like another thing, but they like what they would have eaten for both things. And so it balances out. You know,
Yeah.
I'm allergic to eggs, so I can't always have some things, and peanuts. Nobody ever puts peanuts on the holiday table except for in cookies.
Well, and yeah, it may be in the the desserts, I guess, and like a, you know, walnut almond, I mean a walnut apple something,
Am
whatever
I
that
right?
may be. Yeah.
Right.
So, but what I was going to say is temperature wise, when you're doing a buffet, obviously, are you putting chafing with the buffet so that you can keep it hot? Because otherwise people are running to the microwave and then you have this whole like flow that messes up from your bar to your kitchen. And then I was
So
going to ask you about family style. I mean, is that better suggested? Family style, guys, is when you put the bowl on the table and you sit like on a long table, or what do they call? Um, I'm going to forget it now.
communal.
Let me not say that. Communal table. Thank you. Thank you. So you put the communal table and you just put all the bowls out or all the plates out, and then people just serve themselves. But I just worry about temperature sometimes, obviously, with depending on what we're eating. So which way is like the better way?
So typically what winds up happening in my house is that our vegetable sides a lot of times wind up in pots on the stove with the gravy
Yeah.
and the
Mm.
sauces, right?
Hmm.
So they're going to stay hot there. Our proteins have come out of the oven, and depending on what size protein that you've made,
Sure.
generally you have about a half hour to 45 minutes of just rest time, because it's usually such a large piece of meat that you just
And get
need that
through it.
rest time. Means that before you slice it, so it's not dry, it's not overcooked, you're going to let it just sit there and rest, and it's still going to be hot, tinted. But then while your meat is resting and you're making your gravy, your side dishes are in the oven in their containers. So
Gravy is
what
a
wine,
sin. You don't need gravy.
what?
Gravy is sin.
No, it's not.
You told us on the
Why?
last one on how to do gravy, but it's saying we don't need gravy.
Gravy saved Thanksgiving here.
Gravy is delicious, but I mean, after it, you probably added 2 pounds.
No, you don't. You do
Okay.
not add to just because of gravy. It's mostly the flavored water of whatever protein that you cooked. So you're
No,
not adding.
because they put in butter and flour, and you're making the roux, and you're gonna get that thing, and then you know, of course, you got to add a lot of salt and pepper. Some putting scallions in it, or what we know is onion, but we
It's
call it
not
onion. So
that much butter or flour.
what?
Like you're gonna gain 2 pounds from the whole meal before you gain 2 pounds from the gravy.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
the gravy, listen, let me tell you a story. I might get in trouble for telling it. Somebody brought mashed potatoes. Somebody made mashed potatoes for Thanksgiving here, and they were awful.
She
Awful.
is traumatized by the mashed
I
potato.
am.
Let
We
me just
talked about
say, when her and I were talking last evening about this, she was like, I've got to encourage people not to make the mashed potatoes. So please take the floor and share the potato horror story that you've experienced, Barbie?
So the last time I was here, we talked about mashed potatoes. I posted a link about mashed potatoes that I
She's been traumatized.
I have. So I come upon this bowl, this vat of the whole vat of boiling water. And homegirl, I knew she was making mashed potatoes. She said she wasn't. I was like, "What's that for?" And she was like, "The potatoes." And she just like dumped like a couple handfuls, and she had a whole bowl. And I was like, "You start your mashed potatoes in hot water? Number one sin: do not start nobody's mashed potatoes or potatoes, potato salad, or potatoes in general in hot anything unless it's soup. And you put all the potatoes and the chicken soup at the same time and let them cook. But
So
that's it. That's the
explain
only.
that. Well, how should they do it?
Peel your potatoes, rinse your potatoes, put them in cold, cover them in cold water, add some salt. You can put a lid on till they come up to the boil, take the lid off. Okay? Once they start boiling. When they're fork tender, turn off the pot, drain out the water. You can add, now you can take a separate pot and you can melt your butter and
Yes, that's what I
cream.
do.
And then you add your butter, your cream, your milk, whatever you're using, a little bit of sour cream if you want, some salt to taste. And then you can either do it by hand, in which case, if you have cooked them until they are at least fork tender, at least, then you will not have lumps because you can just whip it. But you can also use your hand mixer and you can use your stand mixer. I just don't suggest you do it for too long because if you whip it for too long, you can get glue. In this case, you did not use nearly enough.
You can get glue, but let me just say, for those that are engineer minds, what she's saying is everything has to stay of the same temperature. So when the potatoes are cold, the water is cold and it all comes up together. Once it's hot and you want to now break the potato down, that hot potato has to match the hot butter milk liquid, and then you mix together. So it's just a little formula, but it's a trick that you don't have waxy potatoes. So carry
But
on.
also another thing that can make your potatoes waxy, over mixing them. You don't want to use a blender, glue. You
Oh,
don't,
my sister uses a blender.
and you put the potatoes in your mouth and you just be like, just,
Went out and bought the old fashioned masher. I was like, oh, I feel like I'm doing something. I feel like, I know what I'm doing, but yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's better than the blender, yes. Even though they come out really nice and buttery.
a mixer, they can still come out buttery, but the blender, they're going to come out more like soup and sticky and gluey. And so these potatoes, I just took a look at them on the
Really.
table and like, ooh, where's the gravy? I scoured the whole table. We were getting ready to say the whole prayer. And my friend said, I didn't
Where's
make
the
gravy.
gravy?
She said, I didn't make gravy. I said, oh, give me 5. And I went in the kitchen. I made some gravy real quick. And I seasoned it extra salty. It was extra salty just for them potatoes. I did it on purpose, just for those potatoes.
Barbie, you are
And
horrible. You see, they always make these whole bits about you.
okay, listen. What I say at the beginning, the
She
holiday,
said, you got to go.
not
Get out of
the,
my kitchen.
not the day. The holiday is not the day to be playing around with kids. Okay.
Experimenting. So was she happy with the gravy? No.
She didn't have any gravy. Everybody else had gravy. Everybody else was like, oh God, thank God.
Save the day.
Yes.
Bless you.
And she might have been a little bit offended, but I was offended that she was messing around with the sides on a holiday because
And
you just
you don't invite chefs to your party and not be prepared. You just save yourself and just have the chef to just do the food. It's no point in having them come to the dinner because they're going to critique everything. Trust me. Trust me when I tell you, they're going to critique it all.
okay. So
Don't
the
do it
first
to yourself.
was she decided. So my friend is my college BFF. We went to culinary school
She
together.
was trying. She was
She
trying.
didn't make the potatoes. Her friend did. Her friend
Okay.
came and took the most basic of all dishes that is so simple and just everyone falls in love with mashed potatoes and they are so simple. And she overcomplicated it so much that everybody's jaws were tight until the gravy appeared and it was like, whew, I couldn't have.
Barbie has saved the day.
I
Don't
didn't
invite
even want.
chefs to your meal. I'm just telling you, just don't.
Yes.
Okay. We'll pull it.
No,
No.
what you don't do is you don't mess up the potatoes on holiday and then turn and look at the chef and say, well, how would you have made them? Now you want to,
And not
I know.
Barbie. You don't turn and say Barbie. How would you make them? Run the clips back. No.
Let me correct you back to
No.
the,
So with that being said, I noticed that January 5th. Now, are they replaying All Stars for Hell's Kitchen, or is that entirely new?
it's an entirely new season, and I think it's the 7th, isn't it the 7th? It might be January 7th. I have to check. Let me look
Oh, I
real
thought it
quick.
was the 5th. Okay, maybe it was the 7th. I noticed it after I was, talking to you
So
earlier, and I was like, okay.
they're all newbies, and it's a whole new season. There's there's I think 18 new contestants. So like
That's
wish them
interesting,
luck.
right? Yeah.
It is interesting because they filmed obviously before COVID-19 broke out, and so they've been waiting for this to air for some time
Sure.
because like how do you prepare and give them a chance to actually properly expose themselves and meet people when we're all locked down.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I
Well,
would look at them for having, it's January 7th, it's Thursday, January 7th. Sorry,
okay.
I had that.
Okay. Okay. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I thought it was the 5th. Let me get my notes together.
I would probably look for a lot of virtual viewing parties with the new chef testants, because that is the best way to reach out to them. And then if you want to support them, they may be starting some kind of ship
Yeah.
ship to businesses. So if you can watch, what else are we doing? What
What
else?
else are we doing?
Might
Well,
be
we pray
visiting.
that when we move into this 2021 thing, that we'll have some sort of light at the end of the tunnel, I guess, right? Maybe after February, March, we should be, I know we don't know, right?
I mean, but
I
everybody
mean,
has been saying, I just can't wait for 2020 to get over. Like it's the magic something is when Guardian Leviosa, everything's gonna be over on January 1st and a new year begins, and we just everything is gonna disappear. And I certainly hope not, because I have made some really good memories this year too.
I say the same. And I hate to even speak to it because I feel bad for those that really want it to be over. But I say the same. But even beyond it, I say, well, if we haven't made any plans for 2021, what are we doing? Why are we rushing into a new year with no plans? Before they
And
figure
like,
it out, we'll be in June of 2021 and we'll be hating that too. I mean, I wasn't excited about 2019, to be honest. So it's just like every year it just goes to be. So yeah.
okay. I am excited about June 2021, since you brought it up. Because the last time we spoke, I couldn't say anything, but now I can. So a lot of people, they just don't believe it. I'm a nanny. I have 3 grandsons. They're 9, 4, and 1. And so
Yay.
this is what it is.
Yay.
But I have 3 grandsons. And in June of 2021, my youngest daughter is going to give me a granddaughter.
I saw she was expecting, but I didn't know, of course, what. Well, congratulations. Cheers
Thank
to
you.
you, my dear. Congratulations on the baby
So
girl.
do
Oh,
have things to look forward to in
I want to say
life.
I'm jealous. I'm really jealous. That was just a good fake, right? Because I want a baby girl. I do have a grand, and he's a boy, but I want a girl. But it's okay. I'll just be excited for you for now.
So you know how they usually say that the third time is the charm? Well, I had 3 grandsons, so her name is the Charmer, because
That's
she is,
cute. That pumpkin. Oh, that pumpkin.
and
No, I don't want to do 3 before I get her. I'm good. I'm good.
I,
We're good. We're good. I think I got like some toys in there now, a drum, and I'm like, you're gonna take that with your parents. you're gonna take, you're gonna take this little vacuum cleaner thing with your parents and go.
all the noisy stuff.
Anything with noise, you can take it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch with it once, maybe twice.
No, I don't want that. So, and I'm not going to play the 3 to get the 1. So we're just going to enjoy that. But when you do get your little one, feel free to Zoom and I'll just share, partake in the pink and maybe send her a little gift. And yeah, it's cute. It's cute. I think
I
there's a
can't
reason why I don't have girls. I think there's a reason. The higher
wait.
power knew girls are bad
I'll
for
be real.
me. Yeah,
I'll be
it would just be, they would just be too much. Just like you made a you and she can do those things too. Oh, no, 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 no.
Mhm.
It's like, no, I think you'll just do better with the boys. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave it there.
So my youngest is the most mini me out of all of them.
Yeah.
So the fact that she's having the girl, like she was on ultrasound and I looked and I was like, it's a girl. And she was like, Mom, how could you possibly
Oh,
know that? And I was like, because she looks just like you. And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, she was bouncing all over. Like I've never seen, like my daughter was that kind of active baby
yeah,
and I
yeah.
it's a girl. And
That's
so I missed
awesome.
her gender reveal because I was not there and I wouldn't have been there because I'm social distancing, but I was there because I was on, FaceTime. And her cousins actually filled up blue balloons and had them explode pink. And so she was like she almost had a moment. My poor grandbaby is gonna get to see one day when she grows up where she thought she was a boy and she cried. And it's a good thing that
She
this
didn't
baby,
want a boy. Does she already have children?
no, it's her first.
Okay,
She has
okay.
3 nephews. She has 3 nephews, but she had made it up in her mind that she felt like it was a girl.
It
And
was
then
a girl. Yeah.
and I, and I had made it up in my mind that it was a girl. Even when the blue balloons came out, I was like, those are wrong. And then they went pff, and all this pink stuff came out. And I was like,
Yay. That's awesome. Congratulations. And they call you
nanny.
Nanny. Okay.
Yeah, because I just imagine that if in the time when we can go back out in the public and walk around in the streets, if some child calls me grand anything, they're gonna call the people. They're gonna be like, call the police. Who she got kidnapped? Like she got these kids out here calling her grandma. Who? So I'm just gonna go with nanny because believe what you want. I could be the au pair.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And I'm grandma, just so anyone knows. It's grandma. And then we can add the V if we want to get a little bit fancy. So that's fine. That's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna do it just the grandma fine. Just make certain that they can understand that it's not grandma.
It's
Grandma, it's glamour.
that.
Yes, such cute. Yes. And unfortunately, like you say, you won't be able to be with them on the holiday, but prayerfully by the time that little one is here, you'll be able to join in and and have that time because look, if you do happen to go into 2021 with this, they don't even allow for you to be in the birthing room now. It would just be your daughter. So we
One person.
yeah, we would hope
Only
that
one person can go in there.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
so we want to get past this and, obviously celebrate what we can now, be thankful, be excited for all that we have going on at this point and what we've actually come through, because that's really the grateful part of it is that we've made it through this and praying that the top of 2021, they are able to figure it out with the new administration, you know, and after that first 100 days, we are off to the races.
off to the races, and hopefully they're off to New Zealand to find out what worked there.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, Barbie Marshall, thank you so much for joining us on Champagne and Conversations. We do appreciate you. And guys, I will be posting the amazing appetizer. I would call it a tapenade for Christine, but your recipe is called, please tell us.
It's just this crostini with olive salad.
Okay, so I will be posting that amazing dish, and also we want to give your Instagram again in case someone wants to DM you for any
Oh, no,
kind of
no.
no.
Oh,
Oh,
DM. Okay, all right, listen. These are the rules on DMs.
only her. What are the rules?
Instagram, I'm at Barbie Marshall. If it's something that you can ask publicly so everybody knows, you just go ahead on and feel free to do that. But slide into my DMs on some crazy stuff and you will find yourself on the block list real fast.
Wait. Wait, I'm so jealous because nobody slides into my DM with nothing but professional conversations. Period. It's never, I don't know what you guys are, I don't know what you're experiencing because I don't have those experiences. So all of that rules, like just break some rules in my DM, then. I don't care. Just break some. Let's see.
Telling people that. Oh my goodness. You give them your social media handle if you want people to break the rules, because they will. Now you gave them permission, and you're gonna get that little image blurred for your protection. Don't click on it, girl. Anytime you get something that say that, it's a
Shut
trap.
the whole phone down. I don't even know. What is it? Everybody's got these DM rules. When I grow up, I'll get to DM rules. I don't have those.
Tell you, when somebody crosses a boundary, you understand where the rules come from. You just be like,
break a rule. Then I can come back on. Then we can come back on and talk about, guess what? After our last segment, they broke a few rules. Now I feel good. I feel like I'm part of the crew.
That'll be a whole different conversation.
I'm a cool kid because right now I'm not a cool kid. It's okay.
All right.
Barbie, thank you so much for joining us on Champagne and Conversations. Happy holidays to you. We certainly want to see you again at the top of 21 listen, whatever it is, let's just get through the refrigerator and make some mystery basket stuff. Whatever it is, we will bring you back and have a good conversation.
All right. I'll see you next year.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.